I'm Razorblade Mango, and I'm here today to talk about breaking news. They have finally, after all this time, announced the official cast for Star Wars Episode 7. So, and I'm just going to give you guys like my basic reaction to this, what I think of all the actors. So let's get started. Let's get the obvious ones out of the way. Yes, Harrison Ford is back as Han Solo. Carrie Fisher is back as the Princess Leia. Mark Hamill is back as Luke Skywalker. Anthony Daniels is C-3PO. Peter Mayhew is Chewbacca. And Kenny Baker is R2-D2. Yes, those original cast members are going to be back. I'm not sure how they're going to fit in the overall story. I'm not sure how much we're going to see of these guys. But it's cool to have them back. It's definitely going to have this nostalgic feel to it. I'm excited to see, especially what Mark Hamill is going to do with Luke Skywalker. Now that he's been, like, he's played some of the most famous villains of all time. Will voice them. It'll be interesting to see him go back to his roots. And as far as the new cast members, the people new to this world, and these are confirmed. Their roles have not been specifically named yet, but these are confirmed names. You have John Boyega, who, if you guys don't know who this guy is, go rent this movie called Attack the Block. He plays the main character in that. He is really, really good in that movie. So I'm excited to see that he's going to have a huge exposure with this new Star Wars movies. He deserves it. He's a very gifted actor. Daisy Ridley, I've never heard of this girl. I think this might be her first time acting, if I'm not mistaken. I honestly have no idea who this girl is. And there's no link to her on Wikipedia. I cannot find anything of her on the internet, so we'll see. Alright, and the next name that they got is Adam Driver, who, of course, if you watch the show Girls, he's Adam on Girls. And he's been in a couple of other movies. Recently, I think he was in Inside Llewyn Davis, as that prissy friend of Justin Timberlake's in the movie. While I don't really like Girls all that much, it'll be interesting. Like, if his role is the villain role that it's rumored to be, this will be interesting to see him. I don't know if he's going to be a makeup or if he's going to just have like a normal face. He will be the villain. It will be cool if he's the villain. And you've got some more recognizable names, people like Oscar Isaac, who of course was Llewyn Davis inside Llewyn Davis. He was in Drive as Standard. He was in the Ridley Scott Robin Hood movie as Prince John. So he's been in a couple of big movies. Not a very recognizable name to maybe like the mass audiences, but now that he's going to be in this, he's definitely going to get a lot more exposure, like John Boyega. So he's a good actor. He's a really good actor. So I'm excited to see what he brings to he's going to bring to a Star Wars movie. Again, he might be a villain. Really, looking at him, he seems like the kind of actor that, if he was like alive and working in the 80s or the 70s, it seems like he'd be the guy that'd be typecasted as a sleazy, snarling villain. So I'm excited to see about that. And another name that people probably won't be familiar with, Domhnall Gleeson, who's of course the son of Brandon Gleeson. The only really recognizable role that he was in was he was Bill Weasley in the Deathly Hallows movies, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows movies. I don't exactly remember his role all that much. It's been a while since I've seen those movies. But, you know, hey, cool. Anything people can do to get wider exposure, it's good for them, especially if they deserve it. I'm not sure if he deserves it or not, because I don't know. I haven't seen Deathly Hallows in a long time, but, you know, if he worked hard for the role, you know, God bless him. I hope he does well. The two names, though, that I am most excited to see in this movie are Andy Serkis, who is like legendary by now. If you don't know who this guy is, I'm not even going to bother explaining to him. Go look him up. He will be really cool in this movie. I don't know if he's going to do motion capture for a character, if he's going to like actually physically act in the movie, like show his real face. But if it's for a motion capture character, you know, you couldn't get anyone better than Andy Serkis. You really couldn't get anyone better than Andy Serkis. He did, of course, Gollum. He did King Kong. He's Caesar in Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And he's been in a number of stuff. So this guy is definitely rising in the ranks. He was in The Lord of the Rings. He was in The Hobbit. Now he's going to be in Star Wars. That is fucking cool, especially if it's a mocap character. And the last name that they announced that I'm really excited to see is legendary actor Max von Sydow, which he could be a villain. It's very plausible. He's known for playing villains. But it could go either way with him. But he's a great actor. Like I said, legendary actor by now. I hope like they really give him a nice meaty role in this movie to really show his acting skills off in Star Wars. That will be awesome. But some actors that I doubt this is the full cast, because they've only listed like 11 or 12 people right here. So there's going to be more people announced within the coming months, definitely by next year. They're going to have the whole cast. You know, we might see some surprises in this. They might announce more returning characters. They might get Frank Oz back as Yoda. I never know. They might even bring some people in from the prequels as the Ghost Spectres, like the Force Ghosts. I never know. They could bring Hayden Christensen back for all I know. I hope they don't. But you know, it's Star Wars. They gotta connect it to the prequels somehow because those are canon. They gotta reference them at some point. So, another thing I'm a little curious to see, with the exception of Harrison Ford, because he has aged well. He looks good. I think he's like 60, 70 now. 71. That's right, 71. But it'll be interesting to see what Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill look like as like a much older Luke and Leia, because I guess this is set about 35 years after Return of the Jedi, and so the plot is going to be about like a trio of 3 new leads. So I'm assuming the new leads are going to be, you know, maybe Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and either Domhnall Gleeson or Adam Driver, if Adam Driver is not a villain. And they just announced that they're throwing out all of the expanded universe. So these movies are going to be canon. And so I'm really looking forward to December 18th, 2015. This cast list is honestly a lot better than I expected. They are bringing in some fresh faces. They're not being so predictable. Even though, you know, I'd like to see Benedict Cumberbatch as a villain in this movie, which would be fucking awesome. They are bringing, like I said, fresh faces. They're trying out some new blood. They're gonna give people like that haven't had that big of an exposure a chance to shine in these movies, and we'll see. I trust J.J. Abrams. I trust Lawrence Kasdan, even though he hasn't really been a part of anything good in a long time. So we will see. J.J. Abrams is a huge Star Wars fan, and my biggest concern with this movie, though, is that it will be, if he brings on people like the writers from the Star Trek movies, or like Alex Kurtzman or Aurora Orci or Damon Lindelof, that I don't hate those guys. I just don't want them a part of this project, because I just don't want this to turn into another like thing, like with people talking shit about his Star Trek movies, which I understand, but this is where J.J. Abrams is most comfortable, because he's basically turned Star Trek into Star Wars, so he fits right at home here. Let's hope Disney knows what they're doing, and I look forward to hearing some new Star Wars music from John Williams. That will definitely get my geek pulses riveting. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. If you're excited about the cast list that's been announced, comment. I want to know. If you're If you have like some ideas of who could be in this movie, I want to know. That would be really cool. If you want to see Billy D. Williams back, hey, I do too. That would be fucking awesome. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. And as always, have a good one.